Hey, what's up? It's your boy, loud, annoying guy who talks about role-playing games. Today we're going to talk about level 20, among other things, but in a typical YouTuber fashion, before we get into that, we have a sponsor. For today's video, the sponsor is Nerdarchy. And you're probably wondering, well, didn't their Kickstarter just end? Well, you would be right. But guess what? If you missed out on the Kickstarter on their out-of-the-box encounters, you can still pledge late and get a copy of the book if you want it. And it's a whole book filled with encounters for 5th edition that you can throw right into your game with little work on the Dungeon Master and all the work by the book. I even have an encounter in there that I wrote among a lot of other people, so I highly recommend you go check it out and pledge now, because the book will get more expensive once this whole pledge manager thing ends, so it's like you have limited time again to go support and get the book if you want it. But anyways, let's talk about the game that we all play. So in all the other videos where I'm calling things dumb, or I don't like them, or I'm ranting about them, I often try to put a little bit of a spin on it, and be like, well, it's okay, so long as you do this. I'm not doing that with this one. I really don't like level 20. To simplify and break it down, I think level 20 is really great on paper, and I think that's why it exists. And in play, it is really boring, long, annoying, and just generally very confusing, and I don't get it. So when I first started playing D&D, I really enjoyed the idea that you could get to level 20, and that's the whole point behind level 20, is that once you get there, it's awesome. You get to be super powerful. Over the course of making all of these videos, I've realized that a lot of the level 20 abilities are either insanely powerful to the point of being game-breaking, which I prefer, or they don't really make you that much more powerful anyways. Typically the spellcasters get this because they're getting access to 9th level spells anyways that give them spells like Wish, which is insane. But I've always enjoyed the concept of getting something super epic, overpowered, whatever at level 20, because who plays a campaign at level 20? And I think getting to level 20 is an incredible achievement, obviously not done by many people, as according to this Twitter poll I made. And I think the biggest reason behind this Twitter poll is due to the fact that a lot of people don't stay consistent with their campaigns. A lot of the comments were like, well, we haven't had a game that went on, we played like 4 or 5 and then we canceled, and I'm like, oh, well, that sucks. And that kind of skews a bit of the research, because most people don't get to play that many games of D&D, which feels bad, but it's realistic. A lot of people just don't get to play that much. I get to play a lot because I force my friends to, and I tell them that it's going to be on a live stream, and then they all go, okay, and then we play over 50 episodes of Sunder, and all of Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and then all of Curse of Strahd, and this is the part where I plug Arcane Arcade! Even before I did streaming, though, I did have a game that went to level 22, in fact, and we didn't really play at level 20. It was like the end, we beat it, now you're level 20. Like, that's what happened. And some players were disappointed because they were like, oh, I wanted to play my character at level 20. And so, with another campaign that was alongside my other one, we did end up doing that, because the campaign ended and all the players who were in it were still wanted to play, and so we would kind of play these weird epilogue games that involved maybe 2 or 3 people, sometimes more, where everybody's level 20 and they would take on insane encounters. So these games aren't fun to run. Just be honest on that aspect. I don't like writing for them, I don't like DMing them, they are no fun at all, but they are hella fun for the players. The reason they're so fun for the players is very obvious. They are incredibly powerful, and they will just destroy anything you throw at them. I just remember running it, and it's just insane, and I was like, man, combat isn't very fun for 20th level, for a number of reasons. First of all, the characters have a bajillion abilities. There's even monks and fighters have tons of stuff that they can do. Even rogues, probably the simplest class at level 20, it still has a ton of shit they can do. Oh, you're a swashbuckler? Well, you also have panache, and your sneak attack is really, really high, and maybe you have a magic item that can turn you invisible, and all of this shit. They have magic items and all these powers, so when you play this level 20 game, every turn takes forever. You would think that the combats would be so quick because the characters would be like, bah, 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 we killed the thing, but it's, no. Level 1 combat's really fast because it's like, I have one option, maybe 2. and they just take those options and then they're done. What really set me on the train of level 20 sucks is watching the return to the campaign 1 of Critical Role games. And they're really great. All of the role-playing is super fun, and that's really why everybody's watching it. All of the continuation of the story and the interaction between the characters, that is always going to be super fun. The role-playing aspect, the role-playing aspect typically isn't too skewed by the fact that the characters are super overpowered. It can be, but not too much. And that's the whole point why people like to watch Vox Machina come back together, because they love the characters. Nobody comes back to watch Vox Machina to watch them all fumble through their level 20 character sheets going, I didn't realize all these abilities I had. There, I've explained why I don't like level 20 on that aspect. Now let's go to the next part of this whole I don't know, breakdown and complaining. That's what all this is. Okay, so this next part I rambled on way too long to explain something that I wanted to talk about, but I feel like I didn't do it very well, so I'm going to do it right here. So basically, I have a Discord. This Discord is run and managed and kind of built up by the moderators of the server. It just kind of has my name on it. It's really great if you want to go check it out. There's a link down in the description. But in this Discord, there is a roleplay server part of it, like a bunch of chats where you can play a character. And I found it very interesting that most of the characters that are put into this roleplay area tend to be above level 10, if not above level 15. I think that it's interesting that when people are given the option to play a character outside of a campaign, they tend to pick above level 10 because they want to be powerful. Anyways, that's all I was trying to explain here. Now let's bring up the facts. The facts. Dungeons & Dragons is a game that was not built for characters to really play after level 10. It can be done, but dear God, the game changes so much. I'm in my live stream game right now. In Sunder, they are currently level 14. They just hit level 14. And it's fine. It's fun. I still find way to bring challenges to the game. But wow, they can change. Reality can be whatever they want. Thanos. Quote. And that's the biggest part about being so high level in Dungeons & Dragons, is that you kind of become like a pseudo dungeon master. Everything you do can just be up to your whim. Oh, we're gonna go fight the Demogorgon? I'm just gonna do this, and now he doesn't exist anymore. It's like, oh, how do you build adventures for this? How do you challenge these characters to do anything when they're basically gods? So that's why I think level 20 is really great on paper. It basically gives you the option to go, you can become really, really powerful if you work hard enough. And it's like, okay, cool. But there should be a disclaimer in the book that says, dear God, don't play this game above level 18. It's just insane. And it's no fun for the Dungeon Master. If you're a Dungeon Master and you enjoy running 20th level campaigns, I commend you. I don't know how you do it because I can't figure it out. And I don't know how to make it fun. I can make it fun for them, but it's never fun for me. Like, I tend to have a fun time being the Dungeon Master. I love being a Dungeon Master and setting up challenges for the players and creating little stories and having encounters and fighting and doing combat and being stressed out when somebody's gonna die is really, really cool. I enjoy that. The crappy part about level 20 games is none of that really exists because they're kind of in control and the Dungeon Master isn't. Because even if the DM says, no, you can't do that, it's like, well, okay, I have this other thing that I can do, or this other thing that I can do because I have 400 spells. So yeah, I don't think that level 20 should be a whole thing that everybody should really play a whole lot, or really strive to get to in terms of their characters. Level 20 is just kind of there, just to be like, well, we didn't want it to end it on 16, because it's a weird number to end it on, and we've done it for ages. D&D is all about tradition, and that's why a lot of people like it. You know, this concept has been thought about before. Characters being so in their character's head that they're so powerful that they can just basically do whatever they want. Gary Gygax was like, that sucks, and I hate it. So I'm going to make an entire dungeon that is dedicated to destroying players like that, and characters. Enter the Tomb of Horrors. One of the most renowned dungeons ever in Dungeons & Dragons, where it's really, really hard, but not in a fun way. It's just meant to punish really powerful characters, because all of the puzzles in Tomb of Horrors are unconventional and meant to trick you. The whole point behind Tomb of Horrors is that you could run any level of characters through it, and no matter what, the challenge is relatively going to be the same, except for maybe fighting the gargoyle and a Sararak at the end of it. The whole point behind the entirety of that dungeon that Gygax wrote oh so long ago was that it's supposed to challenge the players, not the characters. And if you fail and you're stupid, then you die. And the whole difficult thing about running campaigns for level 20 characters is that their characters can do anything, and the players get into the mind of, I can do anything, I'm going to let my character figure out everything, I'm going to let them do all the work, and I'm just going to sit here and just be, haha, I can do whatever I want. And Gygax was like, that's annoying. How about we make a dungeon where you actually have to think, and I debilitate your resources, and actually you have to go through an adamantine door where you put your swords into it and then it breaks your swords. Also, there's another room with hidden walls, and then you have to read a poem that makes no sense, and if you walk into that mist, you lose all your equipment, and then if you step into that mist, you instantly die, and then if you put on this crown and you take a rod and you touch it to the crown... Did you just drop your phone? It's probably okay. How did you do that? Guys, my fiance just walked down the hallway and dropped her phone directly into a small bucket of water. That was very impressive, actually. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was it's so small. That would have taken some effort. So if you want to challenge level 20 characters, but in a really mean way, do the Tomb of Horrors. I really don't recommend it. Neither does Colville, neither does anybody, unless you really want to just be mean, because it's mean. It's not like, ooh, it's so hard, blah, blah, blah. It's like unenjoyably not fun, and it's meant to go, your characters aren't powerful, because this dungeon, I'm tricking you. I'm being mean. And I really hate the argument that the Tomb of Horrors is like the DM versus the players. It's not at all. It's actually completely solvable. It is very easy to complete. It's just supposed to trick you, because when you're playing it, you're thinking, what would my character do? And you're not supposed to play it like that. The way you're supposed to play it is like, okay, I need to be smart and play this like a board game. How do I solve this puzzle in this room? Okay, we need to figure it out. I need to use my brain, not my character's abilities. That is why like a level 1 monk can complete the Tomb of Horrors, because it's not that difficult, because all you have to do is think. And that was the whole point behind Gary Gygax making that tomb, because he was sick of players getting lost in their character's abilities and not thinking for themselves when going through this dungeon. If you're gonna run Tomb of Horrors, just don't, or shorten it, or make it easier for your players. In any case, there's a bunch of other better dungeons suited for that, so sorry patrons. My patrons are going through it right now because I wanted to play it again and I altered it, and maybe I thought it would be fun. So I'm a big old hypocrite. Anyways, just ignore level 20 and just play the game as your characters. But don't play level 5 forever, because that can be not very fun. But maybe it might not be fun for the Dungeon Master to hit level 15, because at the end of the day, what did we learn today, kids? Do you know what we learned today? The Dungeon Master likes to have fun too. Remember that. The Dungeon Master is also a player. Now, I'm gonna go work on how to play Cleric, coming soon, TM, and make sure to go support Nerdarchy. Go get your late backs of out-of-the-box encounters. It's a really cool book. You should go check it out. It's really awesome. And